Just before midnight on November 11, 2003, friends walked into Jonathan Brandis's Los Angeles apartment and discovered something horrific. But to understand this tragedy, we need to go back to the story of a boy who once seemed destined for stardom. A star is born. Jonathan Brandis was born in April 1976 in Connecticut. One look at this blonde-haired, open-faced child was enough to know he was made for the camera. His parents realized this early. At just 2 years old, little Jonathan was already posing for print advertisements. By 4, he was appearing in television commercials. Picture this. A 6-year-old boy lands the role of Kevin Buchanan on the soap opera One Life to Live. This sealed his family's fate. They bet everything on their child's charisma and moved from the East Coast to Los Angeles. Jonathan began appearing in hits like The Wonder Years and Full House. The never-ending story breakthrough, but the real breakthrough lay ahead. In the late 80s, auditions began for the NeverEnding Story sequel. 13-year-old Brandis desperately wanted to break free from children's roles. He'd even auditioned for Saved by the Bell but was rejected. The NeverEnding Story II was his chance. And he seized it. Out of more than 600 candidates, Jonathan landed the lead role of Bastian. Director George Miller, worried about child labor restrictions, created a tense atmosphere on set. Just one rehearsal before filming, 3 cameras rolling simultaneously to save time. Though the film flopped at the box office, Brandis's star continued to rise. That same year, he played young stuttering Bill in Stephen King's terrifying miniseries It, a role he considered the hardest of his career. The SeaQuest explosion, 1993, changed everything. Jonathan landed a role in the sci-fi series SeaQuest DSV with executive producer Steven Spielberg. He played teenage genius Lucas Wilenchak aboard a futuristic submarine. The success was deafening. Teenagers, especially girls, watched the show just for him. Tiger Beat magazine named him the #1 dreamboat. Female fans crowded the set in such numbers that he needed 3 security guards for escort. He received up to 4,000 fan letters per week. But fame came with a price. In interviews from that time, Brandis looked like a deer in headlights. "I never perceived myself as a teen magazine kid," he confessed. "As an actor, you just hope to continue working. I sure never knew this was coming." Love and pressure. In 1995, at 19, Jonathan began dating Tatyana Ali from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Their meeting started at a Halloween party in '93, when she was only 14 and he was 17. The age gap and his massive fame initially hindered their relationship. When they finally became a couple, Hollywood pounced on them as pop culture royalty. But this brought even more stress. "We go to a club and 9 times out of 10, there's a guy hitting on her," Jonathan complained. The SeaQuest curse. Behind the scenes, SeaQuest was a nightmare. By the pilot episode, 2 executive producers had already quit. The cast, NBC Studio, and remaining producers were in constant conflict. Season 2 brought chaos. The show moved from Los Angeles to Orlando. Half the cast was fired or left voluntarily. Jonathan was lucky. Thanks to his popularity, NBC wanted to focus even more on teenage audiences. They even let him write an episode for Season 2. But by Season 3, everything collapsed. Roy Scheider, the show's star, fought to be released from his contract. Jonathan remained the only actor to appear in every episode. Then NBC brutally canceled the show right in the middle of Season 3. The beginning of the end. After SeaQuest, Jonathan tried to continue his career. He appeared in Outside Providence and Ride with the Devil, maintaining friendships with other stars like Soleil Moon Frye. But the new millennium brought failures. Bad Girls from Valley High couldn't find a distributor for years. In 2001, after 6 years together, he and Tatyana broke up. The most painful blow came in 2002. In the war drama Heart's War with Bruce Willis and Colin Farrell, his role was cut to a cameo that was ultimately deleted from the final version. Final attempts. In 2003, Jonathan landed a role in the series 111 Gramercy Park with Tippi Hedren and Jaleel White. His colleague White later recalled how Brandis constantly worried about the project's fate. "I've never known an actor to ask me repeatedly about our pickup prospects the way he did." The series wasn't picked up. Friends said Jonathan began drinking heavily and sinking deeper into depression. He confessed to close ones that he was struggling with his outlook on life. His last project, Porta Vallarta Squeeze with Harvey Keitel, seemed like a ray of hope. Keitel was impressed with the young actor. "This kid is good," he told producers. Everyone on set believed Jonathan had a big future ahead. If only he had believed it himself. The tragic end. On November 11, 2003, just before midnight, friends found Jonathan in the hallway of his Los Angeles apartment. They called 911, but it was too late. The next day, at age 27, Jonathan Brandis passed away. Producer Robert Katz remembered his first reaction: no, wrong guy. Jaleel White confessed, "I stared at my computer screen, tears rolling down my face." Tatyana Ali later admitted she was initially angry with him, an understandable reaction for someone who had lost a loved one just a couple of years after their breakup. Legacy and truth revealed. In 2021, Soleil Moon Frye released the documentary Kid 90 featuring home videos from the 90s where Jonathan frequently appeared. This brought his memory back to life. That same year, Jonathan's father, Greg Brandis, finally spoke about his son's death. Surprisingly, he didn't blame the entertainment industry. Instead, he pointed to an undiagnosed mental illness. "I look back now, and in his 20s, he showed signs of manic depression. Greg Brandis still talks to his son. I talk to him and it makes me smile. I get the feeling he's looking down at me." A lesson for all of us. Jonathan Brandis's story is a Hollywood roller coaster, from the peak of teenage stardom to scrambling for roles, all while battling mental health issues. His father hopes this story will help others. If someone is suffering, let them seek help. Because fame, no matter how bright its light, cannot heal inner darkness. Porta Vallarta Squeeze was released in 2004. Bad Girls from Valley High finally saw daylight in 2005, straight to video. But Jonathan wasn't there to see the completion of his work.